Yeah, absolutely. As I said, the indenture system was a coercive labor form, which was a brutal labor system. And as soon as we kind of disentangle, so the indenture system was not a convenient system that was set up for Fiji's prosperity. It was part of a global capitalist system. And under this capitalist system, you had countries like Portugal and Spain who first went and set up Atlantic and the Caribbean colonies. And then they set up what we call the plantation system. In order for the plantation system to work, they needed slaves, they needed labor. So slaves were brought. When the slavery ended in the British Empire in 1833, Britain started a new system called indenture, which was a concealed form of slavery. A concealed form of slavery at the behest of the plantocracy, who wanted a regular and cheap labor supply, similar to what they had experienced under slavery. So you can see from the very beginning, the intention was to work these laborers to the maximum, extract the maximum profit from them, and also basically to turn them into working bodies. So Girmit is always tied to the idea of brutality. It is tied to the idea of a coercive labor regime. You cannot detach it from that. Vijay, one of the problems in Fiji, as I said, is the idea of historical amnesia. Okay, people have seemed to have forgotten about the past traumatic events, or they kind of half remember. One of the biggest issues for me is the way history is taught in high school. I've been looking at the history textbooks, and it was supposed to have been revised, but it is whitewashed history. It contains a lot of gaps and silences. For example, the whole page in Form 4 history book devoted to indenture is basically one page, whereas 31 pages is devoted to a history of Tuvalu, Tokelau, and Kiribati. This is ridiculous. Historical consciousness, students need to develop historical consciousness. What is the difference? At the moment, students are acquiring historical knowledge. So they rote learn things in high school and they regurgitate it during exams. But when they go out of the school system, they have no awareness. They have no idea of the larger forces. They learn the when and who, but they're not learning the why.
And the why is the most important thing. Teimumu, you touched on this, that came through a British curriculum system where a lot of information is left out. I think that's in agreement there. Do you think that people fully appreciate what the people from India went through when they came in?
I think with the non-descendants of the Girmit here, we know very little, other than what is in the textbook, as you have alluded to. And then for those who have not visited the museum, where some of the information is stored, people in general would know very little about that part of our history. So I think we have to go back to school, where it needs to be taught and put into the context of our history. Otherwise, it'll be just a day that people find is a good public holiday. You can enjoy another day out of school, out of work, but as far as the Girmit years are concerned, they will continue to know very little. So I think we have to go back and have it taught in the schools.